Hello students, we're ready to start lesson 28. 28 deals with strings. Now you learned a lot about strings already. If you remember, we use string data types and assign them to variables. We've been doing that for a while. You use the data type string, then you give it a variable name. To assign a value to that variable, you must put the value in double quotation marks. For example, string name equals, quote, Sally Jones, close quote. Remember, it's double quotation marks. The S in Sally is in position 0. So if you wanted to talk about positions of each item, you start with a 0, and the position of the A is 1. So when you're counting positions, right? But if you have total number of characters, then you start counting with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for Sally Jones. The variable name can store almost any size of string you want. So, you can make a huge long string if you want and store it in the variable name because you set it up as a string variable. We learned about relational operators using strings in Chapter 4. Now you're going to learn more things that you can do with strings, okay? So that's what this lesson's about. Notice we have our header, including strings. All right, we are now going to start with InMain, which is our main function. You can add strings together as long as one of the operands with the plus is a variable. So one of them has to be a variable, and then you can add strings together. All right, so we have string add name, string full name, cout, enter a full name first and last. So that's putting the message on the screen and telling the user enter a full name first and last. And then we have a get line, cin, add name. That'll store spaces. If you remember, get line lets us store spaces in the variable. Then we have full name is going to be add name plus, and I have a quote here. Right? I have a string, but it's in quotations. It's not a variable. So we have one that's a variable and one that's in quotations. And as long as we have one that's a variable, we can add them together. So I could say add name plus, quote, the goof off, laugh out loud. And that adds the value add name, whatever I type in for add name, plus the phrase, the goof off. Okay? So let's run this. Enter a full name. Let's do Nan Harold. Okay? Boom. Says Nan Harold, the goof off, laugh out loud. Okay? That's what we just did here. So you understand that you can add variables together as long as at least one is a variable. Okay? All right, so that's that piece that I wanted you to learn about string operators. Comment that part out because we're going to talk about some more things that it'll do. So I say, but wait, there's more, right? More things we can do with strings. You can replace characters within the string. So we have string str1, that's our variable, that's our data type. String str1 equals, quote, hello there. So I'm making hello there stored in str1 in that variable. Cout, the initial value of the string is str1. So it's going to say hello there. That's the initial value. But then I say str1 6. See that bracket? That means the 6th position. And I want to change that to a T. If I count 6 places over, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're going to replace that T. Let's do something here. That's a lowercase t. There. Now, I'm going to replace that lowercase t with an uppercase t. The value of the string after the change. So let's run this and see what happens. So I'm going to build it because I made changes. There we go. Do I have any errors? Let me bring this up and look. See any errors? Scroll back up there. No, it looks good. So we're going to get that out of the way. Now I'm going to run it, okay? So here we go. Boom. The initial value of the string is hello there. The value of the string after the change is hello there. See, the lowercase went to uppercase. I changed it. So I can actually change the value in my string by telling the variable and the location I want to change it, and then what I want it to be. Notice it's a single character, okay? A single quote on single characters, okay? All right, so that's another little trick you can do with strings. Now we're going to learn about how you can erase. All right, so we got this and that. We're going to comment this out real quick because we're going to do another part of my lesson. Then this and that. All right, so we're going to talk about how to erase, all right? Let me take off my little comment markers here. There. Using length, number of characters in your string, and erase removes all the characters from the string variable, makes it empty. Okay, so if I say Nan Harold has 11 characters, then I could use erase and say erase 11 characters, and boom, it'd be empty. All right, so we have a character here called mid-int and a string called name. I'm going to see out, enter a string value, get line, cn, name. So somebody can put in their name, right? They type in a name. This says for integer a equals 0 and a is less than name.length, in little parentheses. Name.length will return an integer value of the length of the string. For example, Nan Harold, you count the space because it's included, is going to have 11 characters. The space counts as a character. Because we're using getLine cn, we can count spaces, right? So we've got 11 characters here. So this says start at 0 and then go, keep the loop going, because a for loop, right? With a starting at 0 and as long as it's less than 11. When it's not less than 11 anymore, the loop ends. Okay? So we're going to use a switch statement. And this switch statement says go do these cases depending on the situation, right? Well, all these cases with a colon between them mean that it checks for this situation, checks for this situation, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And if any one of these are true, then it does this statement. All right, so here's what happens. So this runs, it's a 0. And it goes down, and so name, see those brackets? Here's our variable, variable's name, and in the bracket, we put an A. So position 0. So switch, I typed in Nan Harold, position 0 is a N, a capital N. So it goes through these cases, and it doesn't see a capital N, so that first loop is done. There's nothing else going to happen. Now notice, when we have an A on the next one, right, because it's going to be position 1, because it's A++, it's going to add 1 to A, so now it's position 1, and it's less than 11, so it goes down and it goes name, position 1. Position 1 is an A, so it goes case A, capital A, no, E, no, O, I, U. Oh, it's a lowercase a, look. Okay, so then it does this statement. This statement says name is going to equal name.erase A, which is position 1, and 1 character. So the A, this is the position in which you want to erase, position 1, and how many characters you want to erase. We only want to erase the 1, so we erase it. So we erase the A. Now if we keep doing this for every letter, and we're checking for A, E, I, O, and U, what does that tell you? We're removing all of the vowels, aren't we? So then by the time we get to the end, then I'm not going to have any vowels in my name. So I should only have 7 characters left in my name because I have 1, 2, 3 vowels, so it only leaves 7 characters. So let's run this. Okay, and oops, too fast there. There we go. All right, enter a string. I'm going to do Nan. Okay, Nan Harold. There it is. No vowels in my name. All right, so now you've learned some new tricks of the trade that you can use with string variables. You need to know these and understand how they work. You need to play with this and get familiar and comfortable with it. All right, you guys have a good day.